Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about yet another tropical depression that has formed in the Atlantic. This is Tropical Depression 7. So let's get right on into it. So Tropical Depression 7 currently has maximum sustained winds of 35 miles an hour, minimum central pressure of 1,010 millibars, and is moving west at 21 miles an hour. So it is moving to the west pretty quickly. And let's take a look at our warnings and cone. At the moment, we do have some tropical storm watches and warnings in effect for some islands in the Greater and Lesser Antilles, as the storm is expected to become a tropical storm throughout the day on Saturday and remain at that strength until it gets up close to the U.S. Then things do get a little bit weird to forecast from that point. There's a lot of different tracks that this can take in terms of intensity. But at the moment, we do have a very strong possibility of tropical storm force winds from Saturday 8 p.m. through Sunday 8 p.m. It is a 30 to 40% chance, which being pretty close, that closer end of the spectrum is a little low, but when you get out to about 48 hours from when I'm filming this, it is a pretty good bet that this is going to become a tropical storm. So just based off of those percentages, and if you look at the most likely arrival time of those tropical storm force winds, you have areas such as Florida, Wednesday 8 a.m., and then other U.S. territories Sunday at 8 a.m. So this storm is moving very quickly. That 21 miles an hour it seems slow to us, but it's pretty quickly moving to the west. So if this does get formed, it would be Tropical Storm Grace. And here is the current picture of the storm, and you can see that there's plenty of thunderstorm activity, especially on the southeastern portion of the storm. And it is a pretty small storm, and that is kind of leading me to the similarities between this and Tropical Storm Gonzalo from last year. Small storm, hits the Lesser Antilles, but in that case, that storm weakened before it actually got to the Lesser Antilles. This storm will do the exact opposite, start to get through the Lesser Antilles and strengthen. So, let's take a look at our current storm information, starting off with our global and hurricane models. Now, one thing that is pretty much certain is the track that this is going to take through the Lesser and Greater Antilles, right along the same lines as Fred. But once we get away from there, after about Puerto Rico, you can see that there's a lot of different options here. This could either go further to the east and it stays in the Atlantic, or it can go all the way to the west, stay in the Caribbean, and even the Gulf of Mexico. So a lot of different options here. The GEFS is showing a more mainland route, almost exactly identical to Fred, taking it right over Cuba at the end there. And if we look at the GEPS, it takes that more eastern track and takes it up close to the Bahamas and then up into the Carolinas by the time it makes landfall. Now, intensity guidance is very strange, because yesterday I posted the video about this storm possibly becoming a major hurricane, and there are definitely a few options here, but surprisingly there's a lot of these models showing this just staying as a tropical storm and really no intensity at all. But it's not out of the question, and that's the main point here. It's not out of the question to be seeing a Cat 3, Cat 4 hurricane. There are two models here showing it. Then you also have the ship model showing a Category 1 to Category 2. This model has been right on a few things in the past when all the other models were showing something completely different, and that was the outlier. So never count this model out. Now, let's move on here to Weather Nerds, showing the European Ensemble, which shows a turn toward the northwest, but a turn back toward the west, kind of splitting the gap between Cuba and the Keys of Florida. So here is the Hwrf hurricane model, and we're just going to be taking a look at this storm as it progresses, and you can see that as it moves toward the Lesser Antilles, it does gain plenty of strength. 993 millibars moving past areas such as the U.S. Virgin Islands. Then once it gets past Puerto Rico, it's at 980 millibars. This storm is intensifying very quickly as it goes past those islands, according to the Hwrf. Then the storm continues to strengthen as it moves past the Bahamas, and we're at 966. So the Hwrf follows along the same path as yesterday on the GFS, where this storm could become a major hurricane. This at the moment is showing Category 2, but it's only getting to around the Bahamas before it runs out of time here on this single model run. So maybe we see a hurricane, maybe not. We have a lot of things up in the air about this storm. So what do you think is going to happen? Comment in the comment section down below. And if you like this video, consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the bell. But that's all for today. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time.